I have made a mistake. And today in this video, I want to try to correct that. Now the last video I did was about culling my sheep and how important that can be. Well, I said it was a video about how important culling can be. What I have come to find out, I'm not a movie maker. I'm not even a very good video maker. I did the video, I showed what I did, but apparently I did not do a very good job of saying why I did it. So I went to a sheep and goat conference the other day, and I got some questions about my last video. I also got some comments on the video. I've got some emails about the video. You know, I showed what I did, but I guess I didn't do a very good job of showing why I did it. Now I'll put a link to that other video below this one. I've never figured out how to do that link up above like you see other people doing. But I'm going to put a link to that video. You can go back and watch that, and you can see what I did with some explanation of why I did it. But I want to make a short video here about the particulars, the details of why some sheep got sent away and some sheep got to stay. Like I said, I'm not really a movie maker. I've tried to make a few videos. Hopefully they help some people out. So if you bear with me, I'll try to get through this really quick and explain to you why I culled the sheep that I did. This is one of the record sheets that I put together when I get ready to go through my lambs. These are my 2025 lambs, some of the ram lambs. And the information I keep is any ID numbers I've put on them, their birth dates, their parentage, twin, triplet, single, whatever, birth weight, their 60-day weight, their actual 60-day average daily gain, and their 60-day adjusted weight. I want to talk about this 60-day adjusted weight. Now you can see it's not the 60-day adjusted weight is different than their 60-day weight. This one actually weighed 78.7 pounds. The 60-day adjusted weight was only 60.26. Now this adjusted weight is probably not what you're thinking it is. You're probably thinking the 60-day corrected weight. A 60-day corrected weight would be the fact that I weighed this lamb not on its 60th birthday, not on its 60th day of life. A 60-day corrected weight would be subtracting or adding how far off I am on the 60-day weight, and that would correct it to a 60-day weight. What the adjusted weight does, it takes their weight, it multiplies it by a multiplication factor that's different depending on the ewe. Well, to make this as simple as I can, what this adjusted weight tells me is this is a calculated weight of what this lamb would have weighed if it had been a single ewe lamb born to a 3 to 5 year old ewe. So that puts everybody on the same playing field. It treats them all as single ewe lambs born to a 3 to 5 year old ewe. So as you can see, these weights are considerably different than their actual weight from when I measured them, when I weighed them. 87 pounds versus 54 pounds. Well, if I go back and look, it's because of the age of the ewe, whether they were born as a twin or a triplet, a single, that all calculates into it. But it gives me a good number to go by for how they actually did. I do this for the rams, and I do this for the ewes. Now, when it comes time to actually cull the sheep, the lambs in particular, I use that adjusted weight gain number a lot to try to get them all on an even playing field. It's really easy to look out there and see a nice big lamb that just gained a ton of weight, and turns out it was a single from a ewe right in her prime, and that's not the lamb I want to keep. It's not the lamb I want to pass on and sell as a breeding stock, ram or ewe. So I'm trying to build a good flock that works with minimal care, best weight gain I can, good, healthy, almost self-sustaining sheep. And that's what I'm going to try to sell to anybody that buys a lamb from me. Now, if you watched that last video, you know I went back to this sheet that was hanging on the side of my working chute for a lot of reference. These marks on the side, these are the ewe lambs that I decided I was going to keep for myself. So if you look, these are all ranked by who had the best 60-day adjusted weight gain. Best to worst. But if you look over here, I did not necessarily pick just the best ones on weight gain, because there's more things to be considered. The first thing I do is I go through my records, I rank them, who does best on weight gain, because that's where you make your money, is in how many pounds of lamb can you sell. But in trying to produce a sheep that I would want, that other people would want, it also needs to have good conformation. So some of them, even though they gained weight really well, they just didn't have the conformation that I wanted to be a good producing sheep. They're good for when you go to sell them at the market because they gained a lot of weight, but they're not something I necessarily want in my flock or want to put in your flock. So why did I pick the ones that I picked? Well, I picked the ones that I did, and I'm just going to go through the ewes here. I picked the ones that I did because of partly their weight gain. As you can see, 3 of the 5 that I kept are in the top, amongst the top of the weight gainers. But the other thing I looked at was their conformation. When it comes to conformation, I want to make sure that I've got a lamb that has a good set of their jaw. Their teeth line up with the pad on the top so they can chew good. They can make good use of the forage, be that grass or hay. I want something that's got a pretty level back. I want something that's got good legs, good solid legs, straight legs. I want something that's got a wide chest, something that's got a wide rear end. That's where your meat is. So when I go out there, I've got a list of my best weight gainers, and then I look them over and I start culling out for conformation. Regardless of where they're at on the list, if they don't have good conformation, they got to go. Anything that had to be dewormed, got to go. Then I go back to what I've got left, and I go through my weight gain and start picking from there. Now, when it comes to these that I kept, after looking at conformation, got everything ranked by weight gain, you might be wondering, well, I see that you marked this lamb way down here, number 74. Well, what I know, because I've kept my records, her mother, trace that back, 75 and 74 were twin sisters. So the top gaining ewe lamb was a twin to 74. So the genetics are there to be a decent gainer. I also know that 2145, when I look back at my other records, she is consistently a good producer. She's a nice ewe with good conformation. She is also the daughter of 2005, which I also kept her daughter. Again, because she's got good conformation. She has a history of producing good sheep. So there's a lot of things to consider when you're doing your culling. I look at the weight gain, I look at their conformation, and I look at the history of where they came from. Do they have the pedigree in my records, in my estimation, do they have the pedigree to be a consistent top producer? Are they going to produce lambs with a wide chest, a level back, good legs? That's what I want. Caring for these sheep can be pretty time consuming. So I'm trying to build a flock that takes less care, grows well, a good, healthy, low maintenance flock. And that's what I want to be able to produce for other people too. Are my sheep going to be the absolute top weight gainers of all sheep in the country? No, they're probably not. But Do you want the absolute top weight gainer regardless? Or do you want sheep that can take care of themselves? They have good weight gain and good conformation, few feet problems, few problems for you. So, like I said, I'm not a movie maker, not even a very good video maker, but I'm going to try to go back and edit this so it makes some sense. Why did I cull the sheep that I culled? Why did I keep some of the ewe lambs instead of some of the ewes? Because I did get rid of a few of my older ewes. The same scenario applies. My philosophy when I get ready to cull my sheep is I know the ones that are the good, consistent, top producers with good conformation. Their lambs have good conformation. Those are ewes that I want to keep. I also generally know, primarily in the lambs, which ones I want to get rid of. They're just not going to be good producers. And all those in the middle, which is the majority, they need to give me a reason to keep them. Not a reason to get rid of them. I need a reason to keep them. If that means I reduce my flock size, so be it. It won't take long to build back a good flock out of good sheep. So, go back and watch that other video where I'm actually doing the culling, and you can see what I did now that hopefully you understand why I did it. Oh, I'm also going to put a link to Mama H at Honey Hollow Homestead. You ought to go check out her videos too.